250 years.
A long road for a nation, and we're still walking it together. 250 candles burning in the dark since a spark in Philadelphia lit a rebel heart. Farmers took a musket, said we'll stand or fall. A fragile little promise written for us all. From frozen lines at Valley Forge to a brand new flag unfurled, a dream began to whisper to a watching world. 250 years of freedom in the wind, through the fire and the doubt we rise again. Every scar tells a story of the price we paid for the right to stand proud and unafraid. Through the storms, through the tears, through the fight to stay strong, we kept the light burning all along, and the world still sees that shining frontier. 250 years. There were days when the country nearly tore apart, brother against brother with a shattered heart. Fields turned into battlefields, hope hanging by a thread, praying that the Union wasn't already dead. But the better angels whispered through the pain, and we stitched a broken promise back again. 250 years of freedom in the wind, through the fire and the doubt we rise again. Every scar tells a story of the price we paid for the right to stand proud and unafraid. Through the storms, through the tears, through the fight to stay strong, we kept the light burning all along, and the world still sees that shining frontier. 250 years. From the beaches of Normandy to a rocket in the sky, from a march across a bridge to one small step nearby, every generation writes another line in the story of a dream that still survives. 250 years and the flag still flies, carried by the brave who gave their lives for the hope that every soul can stand up free in the land of possibility. Through the storms, through the tears, through the fight to stay strong, we kept the light burning all along, and the world still sees that shining frontier. 250 years of freedom here. 250 years. And the story's still being written.
Baseball, that is play ball.
Fans, thanks for tuning in to Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs Baseball. I'm Pete Pagliaro bringing you all the action here tonight. It is the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs facing off against the Oneonta Outlaws in a playoff position game here. First, let's go through the lineups for Oneonta. In left field is number 22, PJ Strand. The catcher is number 10, Vincent Duffy. The center fielder is number 2, Nolan Stark. Third baseman is number 40, Fabio Marquez. The second baseman is number 5, Daniel Tome. First baseman is number 15, Colin Penner. The shortstop is number 7, Blank Fortunato. And the extra hitter is number 48, Caden Kraus. The DH, number 6, is Zachary Rowe. And in right field is number 4, Jack Lockwood. And pitching tonight for Oneonta is Maverick Robb. For the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs, it is Eric Diaz, the center fielder. Number 14, Jake Hardy, number 4, is the right fielder. And left field is number 25, Cal Coleman. The DH is number 19, Brody Frecker. At first base is number 9, Connor Scanlon. Catching tonight for the Dogs, number 34, Joe Crenshaw. Roberto Valdez Jr. is at second base tonight, number 6. Harsh Ramanyana Venkat will be at third base for the Dogs. And Ryan Payne, the shortstop for Mohawk Valley tonight. On the mound for Mohawk Valley, number 13 from Brown University, Cal McBurney. So Cal McBurney on the mound, taking his last few warm-up tosses is McBurney. He is 2-1 on the year, 7.36 ERA. The Dogs are 15-19. They have lost 5 in a row, and they need to start winning some games here as the playoff push is underway. Oneonta 11-18. They have lost 2 and only a game and a half behind Mohawk Valley for that final spot in the Eastern Division playoffs. So here we go. PJ Strand ready to face off against Cal McBurney here in a huge game with playoff implications for both teams. As I mentioned, the Dogs hanging on to that 4th spot, a game and a half ahead of Oneonta. First pitch is a strike to PJ Strand, and we are off and running here tonight on a beautiful evening from Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls. Second pitch is high to Strand. The count is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's McBurney with the windup and the pitch, and puts it low for ball 2, and the count 2-1. So Strand hitting .315 on the season here for Oneonta. Here is the windup and the 2-1, and that one is hit hard to left field. Left fielder is there, and Coleman makes the catch for out number 1 here in the top of the first inning.
Catcher number 10 from Seton Hall, Vincent Duffy.
So Vincent Duffy, the catcher, now will come to the plate for Oneonta. Oneonta wearing their gray tops. They got black sleeves and orange lettering, and also wearing gray pants. The Dogs, those hunter green tops with the white striped pants. So with 1 out, here is Vincent Duffy, number 10. And the first pitch to Duffy misses for ball 1. Following Duffy, Nolan Stark on deck for the Outlaws. 1-0 the count. Here's the windup now and pitch from McBurney. And that is fouled off, and the count now even at 1. 1 ball and a strike here to Duffy. So Vincent Duffy, the batter, hitting .337 for Oneonta. Here's the pitch. That one misses for ball 2, and the count now is 2-1 to Duffy. The Dogs coming off a loss last night against Amsterdam, as Amsterdam came into town last night and rolled. And Oneonta also losers last night to Saugerties. So both teams trying to get back on the winning track. That one has popped up into the infield, and the catch is made at second base for out number 2. That was Roberto Valdez Jr. with the catch for the Dogs.
Center fielder number 2 from the Culinary Academy, Nolan Stark.
So Nolan Stark from the Culinary Academy now is the batter here for Oneonta with 2 outs and nobody on. Stark takes a few warm-up stretches, I should say, before he goes into the box. .383 hitter is Stark. Here's the windup and the pitch. He's a lefty, and that one misses for ball 1. 1-0 the count. McBurney looks in. He will wind and deliver on the 1-0. And down the middle for a call strike. That will even things up at 1-1 here to Stark with Fabio Marquez on deck. 1-1 count. McBurney looks in. McBurney from Brown University, same school as Harsh Ramanyana Venkat. And that one misses in the count 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike here to Stark with nobody on and 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. 2-1 pitch hit hard in the right field, and it's going to get past the right fielder, and Stark is on his way to second, and he's going to turn the corner, head to third, and that'll be a stand-up triple for Stark to start things off here for Oneonta with 2 outs.
Oneonta, third baseman number 40 from Coker University, Fabio Marquez.
So Fabio Marquez now, a right-handed bat for Oneonta, will come to the plate after the big hit there by Nolan Stark. As he hit that into to right field, it went all the way to the wall. So here's McBurney now, ready to deliver the pitch now to Marquez. Here's the pitch, and that misses low for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes with 2 outs. Runner on third here for Oneonta, looking to get on the board first here in the top of the first inning and see if McBurney can stop that here with Marquez at the plate. There's a big swing and a miss by Marquez, and the count now even at 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Gorgeous evening here tonight for baseball. Cool, sunny, and a playoff race ensuing here. 1-1. That one's high. I think he's a little bit off of it, did McBurney. And the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. McBurney, a 7.36 ERA for the Dogs, 2-1 on the season. Here's the pitch, and that one's hit hard between the first baseman and the second baseman. Gets out to right field, and the first run of the game will score off the bat of Fabio Marquez as he hits in teammate Nolan Stark, and they take a 1-0 lead.
From the University of Mount Union, Daniel Tomei III.
So here's Daniel Tomei III, and he will step into the batter's box from the left side with a runner on first and a 1-0 lead, 2 outs. Top 1 here in Little Falls. Here's the pitch. Right down the center of the plate for a called strike 1, and that one is thrown over the head of the pitcher, and it goes all the way out to the outfield, and the runner is going to advance to second base. A sloppy play there by the Dogs. So the ball thrown back to the pitcher, throws it over his head, and the ball ends up in center field, and the runner, Marquez, ends up at second. No balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that's fouled off on the third base side, and the count now 0-2. So 0-2 here to Daniel Tomei III, the second baseman for Oneonta. Blake Fortunato on deck. 2 outs, 0-2 count. McBurney looking to finish him off here in the top of the first. Here's the windup now and the 0-2 pitch. And that is fouled off again by Tomei III, and the count remains 0-2. So with an 0-2 count, Tomei steps back in the box as he sees Cal McBurney stare him down. Here's the 0-2 pitch as he looks at the runner at second before he's going to deliver the pitch down to Tomei III. Here's the pitch. And again, he fouls that off on the third base side, does Tomei III, and the count 0-2. Couple foul balls already deposited down the third base line. So if kids are out in the area, that's the area to go and see if you can grab some souvenirs. 0-2 now to Tomei. Runner on second with 2 outs. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is left high by Tomei. The count 1-2. So 1-0 to score. The Oneonta Outlaws jumped out ahead. They were out a little late here today on the team bus. No batting practice beforehand. They just came in and were ready to go. 1-2 pitch, a little chopper, and it is foul. And it is fair, actually. It rolled back in. So that one, another mistake there by the Dogs as the ball was foul. And it weighted it. They bounced fair, and the pitcher touched it, and that's a fair ball. You got to touch the ball in the foul territory. So a single for Tomei. Penner now the batter. Colton Penner the first baseman. So runners on the corners here for Oneonta. 2 costly mistakes thus far for the Dogs. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 2, and they count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. McBurney looking to get him here and leave these runners stranded on the base pads for Oneonta. 0-2 pitch now to Penner on its way from McBurney. And there's calls strike 3. That'll do it for the inning, but not before Oneonta puts up 1 run. They lead 1-0. Top of the first.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
And we are back, and Eric Diaz will lead things off here for Mohawk Valley in the bottom of the first. Dogs already find themselves down 1-0. It'll be Eric Diaz, Jake Hardy, and Kyle Coleman all up here for the Dogs in the bottom of the first inning. Maverick Rabe is the pitcher for Oneonta. Right-handed pitcher is Rabe. And there's the pitch. And that misses outside, ball 1. Rabe, a 6.30 ERA. And Diaz in the box from the left side, ready to go here with a 1-0 count. And the ball hit hard up the middle, and it's going to get through. As it doesn't get through, but the runner is safe as Eric Diaz runs it out. It was stopped in its tracks by the second baseman, but unable to make the play after he made the nice swipe of the ball. So Jake Hardy now the batter after the single from Diaz. Hardy, a right-handed batter for Mohawk Valley. Hitting .362 with 2 home runs is Hardy. So runner on first here for the Dogs with Jake Hardy at the plate. Here's the pitch. And there's a foul tip. And the count 0-1 to Hardy. So 0-1 the count here to Hardy. Runner on first is Diaz. Diaz gets looked back, so he takes a step towards first. And now here's the pitch. Down low, 4-1, the count now 1-1. So 1 ball and a 1 strike here to Hardy. Hardy, the right fielder for the Dogs here tonight. Ball and a strike. Diaz at first, taking a short lead. Here's the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 2. And the count to Hardy now 1-2. A 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rabe looks back at the runner at first, and now he's going to wind up and deliver the pitch. Little chopper to third base. Third baseman grabs it and throws across. And they get him at first base for the out.
Now batting for your Dogs, left fielder number 25 from Belmont University, Kyle Coleman.
So Kyle Coleman now the batter for the Dogs. Coleman the left fielder. As he bats from the right side of the plate, does Coleman, and he comes to the plate with 1 out and a runner on second base. Runner on second is Diaz, taking a pretty good size lead. And there's a strike in the count, 0-1. No balls and a strike here to Coleman. 1 out, runner on second. Rob looks at the runner and delivers the pitch. And there is strike 2 inside corner. And the count now 0-2 to Kyle Coleman. So ahead of the count is Maverick Rabe. And the count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one misses down low on the count 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes with the 1 out. 1-0 is the score here in the bottom of the first. Oneonta ahead. Here's Rabe with the windup and the pitch. And there's a broken bat hit to the third baseman, knocks it down and unable to make the play. And that'll put runners on first and third for the Dogs.
Now batting for your Dogs, designated hitter number 19 from George Washington University, Brody Frecker.
So here's the DH, Brody Frecker. And a hit for Kyle Coleman. And now Brody Frecker at the plate for the Dogs, with runners on the corners and just 1 out. Frecker is the DH for Mohawk Valley, hitting .326. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike. And the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Rob looks over at the runner at first. He's got runners on first and third with 1 out. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is popped up on the first base line, and no catch by the first baseman. So we'll reset, everybody go back into their spots, and we'll do it all over again, but this time with an 0-2 count. So an 0-2 is the count here to Frecker, with 1 out. Runners on the corners, Dogs are down 1-0. Here's the pitch. And a little chopper to shortstop makes the grab, but it was too deep in the hole. And no play, and a run scores, and we are knotted at 1. So Frecker with the single ties the ball game here for the Dogs. So here's Connor Scanlon for the Dogs. Scanlon, the first baseman. Runners on first and second here for the Dogs. The pitch. And there's a strike in the count, 0-1. Still just 1 out here for the Dogs in the bottom of the first inning. They've tied this game at 1. Scanlon hitting .276 for Mohawk Valley. And he's facing an 0-1 count. There's the pitch. And that is fouled off on the first base line of the count. Now 0-2. We got a little bit of a breeze here at Vets Memorial Park as the flag blowing from right to left. Sun is out shining. Baseball is being played here in the Mohawk Valley. 0-2 with 1 out. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, stopped by the catcher. And the count now jumps to 1-2. Vincent Duffy with the stop on the plate for Oneonta. So a ball and 2 strikes here to Scanlon. Joe Crenshaw awaits on deck for the Dogs with just 1 out. Here's Rob now. Looks at the runner at second a few times. He's bouncing around the runner, and now it's popped up this time, fouled on the first base line. So Scanlon taking turns where he's putting the ball in the foul territory. 1-2 now. Scanlon back in the box, ready to go. Both runners taking short leads at the moment. And now the runner at second dancing around. That ball's hit hard past the third baseman. And that's going to score 1 run. And they're going to set another one. And 2 runs will easily score. The Dogs have jumped back out ahead here after the double from Connor Scanlon.
Now batting for your Dogs, catcher number 34 from Richmond University, Joe Crenshaw.
So here's Joe Crenshaw. The Dogs bounce right back after that run in the top of the first. They respond with 3 of their own. And still just 1 out on the board here for the Dogs with a runner on second base. So here's Crenshaw at the plate. Runner on second, 1 out, 3-1 lead now for the Dogs. And that is popped up into right field. Right fielder coming fast and grabs it before the second baseman got called off last minute. And that is out number 2.
Second baseman number 6 from St. John's University, Roberto Valdez Jr.
So Roberto Valdez Jr. now the batter for Mohawk Valley with 2 outs. Valdez has a runner in scoring position at second base by way of Connor Scanlon. And would love to bring him home with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that one misses for ball 1. One and 0 the count here to Valdez Jr. Wind up and the pitch on its way. And that one is popped up. And shortstop calls everybody off to make the grab. And to end the inning, the Dogs put up 3, and they lead this game 3-1 as after 1.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
And we are back here for the top of the second inning.
Shortstop number 7 from SUNY Brockport, Blake Fortunato.
So here is Blake Fortunato from SUNY Brockport. He will start things off here in the top of the second inning for Oneonta. It'll be Fortunato, Caden Kraus, and Zachary Rowe. 3-1 lead for the Dogs. They scored 3 runs as they bounce right back after Oneonta put up 1 run in the top of the first. There's a swing and a foul tip by Fortunato, and the count 0-1. The ball's in 1 strike to Fortunato. He's the shortstop for Oneonta. And that one is high for ball 1, and the count now even at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Fortunato. He leads things off here in the top of the second for Oneonta. And that one is popped up. And the shortstop makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting for the Outlaws, extra hitter number 48 from SUNY Kovalskill, Caden Kraus.
So Caden Kraus now the batter for the Outlaws after the pop out to short. Now for the Dog was Ryan Payne making the catch. So here's Kraus. He's the extra hitter in the lineup. And there is a strike 1. And ahead of the count, 0-1, is McBurney. No balls and 1 strike to Kraus. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike on the count, 0-2. And quickly ahead is McBurney. McBurney looks in, picks up his sign from his catcher, Crenshaw. And now he's going to wind and deliver, and that is high and inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, 1 out here, top 2. 1-2. And that one misses for ball 2, and the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Strauss awaits the pitch now. Here it is. Swing and a miss. And that'll do it for Kraus. And Zachary Rowe now the batter.
Now batting for the Outlaws, designated hitter number 6 from SUNY Oneonta, Zachary Rowe.
So here's Zachary Rowe.
I'm an alumni, shut up.
So Rowe steps into the box with 2 outs here. 3-1 lead for the Dogs. Here's the pitch. And that one misses outside for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes, 2 outs here to Zachary Rowe. Here's the pitch. And that one misses for ball 2. And the count now 2-0 to Rowe. Rowe is tonight's DH for the Outlaws. 2-0 pitch now on its way. Big swing and a miss by Rowe, and the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs. Nobody on here, top second. Dogs lead 3-1. Here's McBurney with the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss. And the count now 2-2. McBurney looks in now and needs 1 more to get it out of this inning here. And here's the windup now and the pitch to Rowe. And it's popped foul, I think. And out of play. Our fans running out to get that souvenir. And 2-2 now the count. And looks like he secured his souvenir. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Zachary Rowe. That one misses for ball 3. And the count now full at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that one is fouled off again down the third base line. So Zachary Rowe continuing the battle here against Cal McBurney with 2 outs and a 3-2 count. Here's the 3-2 now from McBurney. And he misses for ball 4. And he will take his base, will Zachary Rowe.
Now heading to the Outlaws, right fielder number 4 from Grand Rapids Community College, Jack Lockwood.
So Jack Lockwood, the right fielder, number 4 for Oneonta, a left-handed batter, will step into the batter's box to face Cal McBurney. McBurney looks in now. And winds and delivers, and that one's fouled off on the third base line again, and the count 0-1. So popular place for some souvenirs is the third base line today. 0-1 with 2 outs. Runner on first here for Oneonta. Top of the second, 3-1 Dogs. Here's Cal McBurney back to first base, and quickly sliding back is Zachary Rowe. 0-1 now the count to Rowe. Here's the pitch. That is high for ball 1. And the count 1-1. I'm sorry, Lockwood the batter, not Rowe. Rowe is at first base. He got there after the walk. 1-1 pitch now. Actually, we're going to go back to first as McBurney checks the runner at first base. So 1-1 now to Lockwood. There's a big swing and a miss by Lockwood. Ahead now on the count 1-2 is McBurney. And McBurney looking to finish him off here and head to the bottom of the second with a 3-1 lead. 1-2 pitch on its way from McBurney. And it is popped up into left field, and Coleman makes the catch. And that'll do it for the inning. Dogs lead 3-1 after 1.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
And we are back for the bottom of the second inning with the Dogs leading 3-1.
Bottom of the second for your DiamondDawgs.
And it'll be Harsh Ramanyana Venkat coming to the plate for Mohawk Valley. So here's Venkat at the plate. And the pitch misses for ball 1. And the count 1-0. So Venkat hitting .276 here for the Dogs on this season here. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch, and that is fouled off on the count now 1-1. So a ball and a strike to Venkat. Ryan Payne, you up next, followed by Eric Diaz. So back to the top of the order we go after Payne. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch, and that is popped foul down the first base line and out of play. And that'll bring us to a 1-2 count to Venkat. Venkot, tonight's third baseman here for the Dogs. Again, hitting 276 is Venkot. 1-2 the count. Here is the windup and the pitch by Rob. And that's popped up. And first baseman calls everybody off to make the grab. And that is out number 1 for the Dogs.
Now batting for your Dogs. Shortstop number 27.
So the shortstop, number 27, Ryan Payne. Now the batter here for the Dogs. Payne hitting 148 for Mohawk Valley. A right-handed batter is Payne. And there's a swing and a miss. And the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Payne. Here's the pitch. And that's fallen off in the count quickly. 0-2 now to Ryan Payne. So Payne, bottom of the order for the Dogs, and back to the top with Eric Diaz. 0-2 the count. Payne the shortstop. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. For ball 1. That brings us to a 1-2 count. So a ball and 2 strikes to Orion Payne. Maverick Rave, the pitcher, on the mound here for Oneonta, down 3-1 as the Dogs came bouncing back with a 3-run bottom of the first inning. There's ball 2, and we are even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out to Ryan Payne. Eric Diaz awaits on deck for the Dogs. 2-2. Here's the pitch. And that is popped up. And first baseman makes the grab in foul territory for out number 2.
Now batting for your Dogs. Center fielder number 14 from UConn, Eric Diaz.
So here's Eric Diaz hitting 272 for the Dogs this season with 5 home runs. He is a left-handed bat for Mohawk Valley. He's going to step into the batter's box here with 2 outs. 2 outs, nobody on for the Dogs, bottom 2. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss by Diaz, the count 0-1. Diaz taps his shoes with a bat, taps the plate, and signifies he's ready to go with it on 1 count. Here's the pitch. And that one misses low, and the count now 1-1 to Diaz. A ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2, and the count now 1-2. A 1 ball and 2 strikes to Diaz. Diaz, top of the order for the Dogs. 1-2 now the count. Outside, ball 2. So we're even at 2-2. Jake Hardy awaits on deck for the Dogs. Nobody on here in the bottom of the second inning. 3-1 Dogs. And Diaz is facing a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Rob looks in, and he's going to deliver on the 2-2. And that one outside corner missing for ball 3, and a full count now to Eric Diaz. So 3-2 here to Diaz. Diaz steps in the box, taps the plate, and he's ready to go. Here comes Rob with the 3-2 pitch. Taking his time before he's going to deliver that pitch, and here it comes. And a little chopper foul by Diaz, and the count remains 3-2 as he continues to battle at the plate here against Rob. So Diaz takes a step out, a longer step out, takes a practice cut, and now he's going to go through his routine where he taps his cleats and then taps the plate, and it will be ready to go. 3-2 with 2 outs. Here we go. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it for the inning as he strikes out, and the Dogs lead 3-1 after 2.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
And we are back for the top of the third inning.
22 from Marist College, PJ Strand.
And PJ Strand, the batter here for Oneonta. In the top of the third, it'll be PJ Strand. He's the top of the order. Vincent Duffy and Nolan Stark. Strand popped out in his first at-bat here this evening. And here is at-bat number 2. First pitch of that at-bat is a strike, and the count 0-1.
Go see Cody behind the first base dugout.
No balls and 1 strike to Strand. And he fouls that one off, and the count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Strand. Duffy awaits on deck. 0-2 count. McBurney looking in, shakes one off, shakes another one off. Looks like he's good to go now. And will deliver on the 0-2. And that one outside. And the count 1-2. A 1 ball, 2 strikes to PJ Strand. Here's the pitch. And that's fouled off down the first base side. 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. McBurney looking in, and he's going to wind and deliver. Big arching curveball that didn't curve, and the count 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as that one sails over the head of PJ Strand. The count 2-2. Nobody out. Top third here, nobody on. Dogs lead 3-1. Here's the pitch, and it is popped foul. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. With that, some more baseballs coming into the game. See a bunch of beach balls flying around today, as that was the giveaway today at the gate for the kids. So let's see a few of those balls lingering around the park here. Kids having a good time. 2-2 the count. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and it's fouled off, and the count now 2-2 remains. So PJ Strand, a right-handed batter here for Oneonta. Hitting .315 is Strand. Here's the 2-2. And swinging a foul tip. And that's caught for out number 1.
Thank you for Oneonta, catcher number 10 from Steve Hall, Vincent Duffy.
So here's Vincent Duffy, the catcher. Duffy popped out in his first attempt here tonight against McBurney. So he will get a second chance here in the top of the third. And so here is McBurney ready to deliver the pitch, and he does so high for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes to Vincent Duffy. Right-handed batter is Duffy. And the pitch. And that one outside and in the dirt for ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes. Bunch of players here from the Pioneers baseball team. They are in the crowd. Glad they have those kids here. 2-0 pitch. And that one sails outside for ball 3. And now the count 3-0 to Duffy. So McBurney back on the rubber waiting for Duffy. Duffy's set. And so is McBurney. And he will deliver on the 3-0 here. And puts it down the middle for called strike 1 and the count 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that one is falling off. And they count 3-2. That one came right back at us here. Not as high as usual, so it didn't flinch this time, but we have seen a lot of balls lately trying to infiltrate the fence. Keeping our eyes open just in case. I sit behind the scenes here, so I'm protected by 2 people who are going to jump in front of that ball and save me. 3-2 the count. And that one hits him. So no one was saving Duffy on that one, as he was hit by a pitch, and he'll take his base.
Now batting for the Outlaws, center fielder number 2 from the Culinary Academy, Nolan Stark.
So Nolan Stark tripled in his first at bat here tonight. He's going to step into the batter's box with 1 out and a runner on first base. So here's Nolan Stark trying to get something going here for Oneonta in the top of the 3rd inning. He got things going in his first at bat. I'm sorry. He is a left-handed batter. And here comes the windup and the pitch. And tries to hold off on that, and they say he did not go. So ball 1. So Stark number 2 plays center field for Oneonta. He's a left-handed batter. He's facing 1 out here with a runner on first. Down 3-1. And that ball is down for ball 2. And that one gets away from the catcher, but everyone's going to stay put. So 2 balls and no strikes here to Stark. As Crenshaw crouches behind the plate. Ready to go with the 2-0 count. And here comes the pitching coach. And let's see something going on with McBurney here. Or just a conversation.
Mid-season All-Stars for Oneonta and Mohawk Valley. In the outfield from Mohawk Valley, Jake Hardy. In the outfield from Mohawk Valley, Eric Diaz. In the infield from Mohawk Valley, Connor Scanlon and Byron Arias.
So a quick little discussion on the mound. The entire infield is there. Talking to Cal McBurney as the pitching coach for the Dogs, providing some instruction and encouragement. And everyone disperses, and we'll be back and ready to go momentarily with Nolan Stark at the plate with a 2-0 count. So 2 balls and no strikes to Stark. And here comes the windup and the pitch. Down low for ball 3. The count now 3-0. So McBurney struggling a bit in his last 2 batters here. See if he can get back on track here. 3-0 count now to Stark. There's the windup and the pitch. And there is ball 4. And so Stark will take a walk. And now runners on first and second here for Oneonta.
Oneonta, third baseman number 40 from Coker University, Fabio Marquez.
So Fabio Marquez is the right-handed batter here for Oneonta. Marquez hitting .292 for the Outlaws. So with 1 out, here's Marquez. jumping into the box. Runners on first and second with one out. And McBurney looks at the runner at second and now takes another glance. Not being held on. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, stopped by Crenshaw. They count 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. With just one out here in the top of the third. Cal McBurney looking for the strike zone, as he has struggled with those last 2 batters with a hit by a pitch and walk thus far. And there's a strike, 1-1, and that might be all he needs to get back on track here. He started the inning with a strikeout to P.J. Strand, then hit Vincent Duffy and walked Nolan Stark. And now Fabio Marquez at the plate with a 1-1 count. 1-1 pitch on its way. And that ball hit into right field. And that's going to get 1 runner home. And so a base hit for Marquez. And a run scores, and the score now 3-2. Mohawk Valley.
Second baseman number 5 from the University of Mount Union, Daniel Tomei III.
So Daniel Tomei III now the batter. He singled in his first at bat here tonight. He's the second baseman for Oneonta. He bats from the left side here, does Tomei. And he shows up with 1 out and runners on first and second for Oneonta. Down 3-2, so they're cutting into that lead. Here is the pitch from McBurney and into the outfield. And a single will load the bases here for Oneonta.
Now batting for the Outlaws, first baseman number 15 from Wake Tech, Colton Penner.
So Colton Penner, who struck out looking in his first attempt here tonight against McBurney, has quite the opportunity here with bases loaded and just 1 out. Penner, a .259 hitter for Oneonta. Bats from the right side, does Penner. And the pitch misses for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes. Again, bases loaded, full of Outlaws. And that's never a good thing when there's that many Outlaws in town. 1-0. And that one's fouled off, and the count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, as McBurney trying to be the sheriff here in town. 1-1 with 1 out. Bases loaded. Colton Penner, the batter for Oneonta. 1-1 pitch, and that's high as Crenshaw jumps up to make the stop. Mask falls off, and the count now 2-1. Two balls and a strike to Penner. Here's the windup and the 2-1 pitch on its way. And a little dribbler to short. He goes to second, back to first, and the runner is safe at first as it got away from the first baseman. They got the runner at second. And a run scores now 4-3 the score. So Penner reaches on a fielder's choice, and Fortunato will come to the plate. So they got the runner at second, and unable to get the runner at first base. It was overthrown. And here's Blake Fortunato, who popped out in his first at bat, and now the lead has changed, 4-3. Oneonta, still with just 1 out here for the Outlaws. Fortunato, a left-handed batter for Oneonta. And 0-1 with 2 outs. There's the windup and the pitch. And that one hit back to McBurney. He picks it up, throws on over. And that does it for the inning, but not before 3-run score. And Oneonta takes the lead, 4-3.
spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
Ground out to the pitcher. And Jake Hardy now the batter to lead things off here for the Dogs in the bottom of the third. Lead has changed now 4-3. Oneonta as we exchange 3 for 3. The Dogs scored 3 in the bottom of the first, and well, Oneonta decides that we're going to put up 3 in our top of the third. Allen's popped up, and first baseman gets underneath it, makes the grab for out number 1 as Hardy pops out to start the inning off here for the Dogs.
Left fielder number 25 from Belmont University, Kyle Coleman.
So Kyle Coleman on the batter. Right-handed batter is Coleman. Coleman singled in at bat number 1 here tonight against Maverick Rabe. And with 1 out, nobody on, here's the pitch to Coleman. And that one misses inside for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch called a strike, and the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike here to Kyle Coleman. Brody Frecker is on deck. Coleman steps into the box. Facing that 1-1 count, here's the pitch. And he hits that to third over the head of the third baseman. Stopped by the shortstop, but too deep in the hole, and that's a single for Kyle Coleman.
Now batting for your Dogs, designated hitter number 19 from George Washington University, Brody Frecker.
So Brody Frecker now the batter. He has singled in his first at bat. And he will step into the box with 1 out and a runner on first by way of Kyle Coleman. And runner takes off. Here's the throw. And out at second base is Coleman. So out number 2 is Coleman. A 1 ball, no strikes to Brody Frecker. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here for the Dogs. Bottom third, 4-3, Oneonta ahead. Big game for both teams. Oneonta, a game and a half behind Mohawk Valley. And that ball is popped up into left field. It is at the wall. He can't find it. It's gone. A home run from Brody Frecker. That is his 3rd home run of the season. So home run number 3 for Frecker. And the Dogs cut back into this lead. And now we have a tie ball game, 4-4. So Connor Scanlon, who doubled in his first at bat, now will step into the batter's box for the Dogs. Just like that, one swing of the bat, and we are tied 4-4. Brody Frecker hitting his third dinger of the season to tie this game up. Here's a pitch. There's a strike inside portion of the plate, 0-1. So back and forth we go in this ball game. It's almost like tag, you're it, right? 0-1. And that ball is popped foul on the count, 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. And like I was saying before, both teams in the middle of a playoff race. Only one spot remains. Dogs are hanging on to it by a game and a half right now. 0-2 with 2 outs. And inside. And the count 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Only 3 home games left for the Dogs. So if you're looking to come see them play here at Mohawk Valley, make sure you come on out. If you want to see them on the road, well, you got to check the schedule because I don't have it in front of me. And there's a swing and a miss, and that'll do it for the inning. But the Dogs put out 1 run with a home run from Brody Frecker. They tie this game up 4-4.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
And we are back. New pitcher on the mound for Oneonta. Dean Daddio, the sidearm pitcher. Right-hander Daddio is on the mound. And Caden Kraus, number 48, the extra hitter, will face him first. First time around, Kraus struck out to McBurney. So let's see what Daddio and Kraus have up their sleeves here in the bottom or top of the 4th. First pitch from Daddio. Swing and a miss, 0-1. So Caden Kraus, Zachary Rowe, and Jack Lockwood all due up here in the top of the 4th here for Oneonta. And that one curves its way in for strike 2. Nice pitch there by Daddio. And the count quickly 0-2. So Daddio looks in. And Felician University has that teal green glove. That one misses, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes here from Daddio to Kraus. And Daddio looking to strike out his first batter he faces here in the top of the 4th. Here's the 1-2. And that one's fouled off on the first base line, and the count remains 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Couple kids out on the basketball courts playing some hoops. It's warms my heart as a basketball coach. 1 and 2. Not enough kids play hoops these days, man. I say it all the time. They got to get on the courts and shoot more. 1 and 2. Same thing for the playgrounds as far as baseball goes. There's a swing and a miss. And Kraus strikes out.
Now batting for Oneonta, designated hitter number 6 from SUNY Oneonta, Zachary Rowe.
So Zachary Rowe, the DH, who walked on his first at bat, will get his first shots here at Dean Daddio in the top of the 4th with 1 out and nobody on. And as I was saying, like not only on the basketball courts, but also on the diamonds, kids just not out there as much as they used to be. You don't drive around and see kids playing baseball or even basketball for on a daily basis like we used to do when we were kids. Sound like the old man on the porch now, right? 0-1. Here comes the pitch from Daddio. And that one misses outside the count, even at 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Zachary Rowe, the DH. Nobody on here in the top of the 4th for Oneonta. Ball game tied 4-4. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss by Rowe. And the count now 1-2. So Rowe went chasing that one. And now ahead in the count is Daddio 1-2, looking to finish him off here with 1 out. Here's the pitch. And that is popped foul. And the count 1-2. So fans, I once again stopped at my favorite coffee shop in Little Falls on the way here. So make sure you head on to downtown Main Street here in Little Falls. They got all these cool little shops that opened up. One of them is a bookstore and a coffee shop. Check them out. Tell them the DiamondDawgs sent you. 2-2 with a 1 out. So Zachary Rowe at the plate. Daddio ready to go on the mound. There's a 2-2 pitch. And there's a shot to right field. And it's going to go over the head of the right fielder to the wall. And he's going to head the second as that ball heads all the way to the back of the, well, it looks like we might have a ground rule double. It looks like it went underneath the fence. And let's see what they do. They're going to call him back to second base. He made it all the way to third.
Jack Lockwood.
So here is Lockwood. But before that, the umpire is going to have to go all the way down to right field to see where that ball is. As he put his hands up out in right field, signifying it's under the fence. And so let's see. That's a long stroll for the umpire. I'd be like, you know what? I believe you. And they're going to bring him back to second base as a ground rule double. So Zachary Rowe with the ground rule double. We'll bring up Jack Lockwood. You don't often see the umpire go all the way out to the outfield. I heard it's a rule. I can't say I've always seen him do it. 1 out here to Lockwood. Here's the windup now on the pitch from Daddio with a runner on second base. And that one just misses the outside corner in the count 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Sun's starting to shift a little bit here. Starting to see a little bit of shade coming through by the first base side. 1-0. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike and the count 1-1. So Lockwood popped out in his first at bat here tonight. After Lockwood, we go back to the top of the order with P.J. Strand, who awaits on deck. 1 out, runner on second base here for Oneonta. Daddio ready to go. Here's the pitch. And a little chopper to the second baseman who scoops it, goes over to first. And there is out number 2, and the runner advances the third.
Now batting for the Outlaws, left fielder number 22 from Marist College, P.J. Strand.
So back to the top of the order we go with P.J. Strand. And Strand has popped out and struck out. this evening. And he has a runner in scoring position at third base. And that runner is the go-ahead run here with the score tied 4-4. Top of the fourth, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Strand. 0-1. No balls and a strike here with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Count 1-1. So we're in the middle of July. Season starting to wind down. In about a week, Cooperstown will be filled as the induction ceremony will be underway. And then August, first week of August, playoffs start here for the PGCBL. So 2 balls and 1 strike now to PJ Strand. And as of this moment, the Dogs, number 4 in the playoffs. 2-1 now the count with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Strand. And that one misses for ball 3 in the count, 3-1. Vincent Duffy on deck for Oneonta. With a 3-1 count, PJ Strand takes a couple practice swings before he jumps back into the box. 3-1 count. Team Daddy-O's ready to go and delivers on the 3-1. Outside for ball 4, and that is a walk to PJ Strand.
Now batting for Oneonta, catcher number 10 from Seton Hall, Vincent Duffy.
So with the runners on the corners here for Oneonta and 2 outs, Vincent Duffy now the batter. He was hit by a pitch in his last at bat, also popped out here tonight. So runners on first and third for the Outlaws here in the top of the fourth. 4-4 game. Dean Daniel, the pitcher, looks over his shoulder at the runner at first. That's PJ Strand who walked. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1 to Duffy. And Daddy-O calls Crenshaw out to the mound. And he actually signaled for him to be out there, go out there. So let's see what this discussion is all about. We're not going to know, obviously, but interesting to see the pitcher actually call the catcher out to talk something over. Obviously, there's something that Daddy-O saw or thinks. And 1-1 the count, we're being told. So a ball and a strike here to Duffy. I'm sorry, to Strand. Nope, Duffy, sorry. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Duffy steps out of the box now. One and 2 now. As Daddy-O ready to go and deliver on the 1-2 here. Runner on first and third. Runner takes off. Ball's hit to the shortstop. He throws over to first. And they get the runner. And that'll do it for the inning. Runners left stranded. Score remains 4-4.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
And we are back. Bottom of the fourth, 4-4 is the score. Joe Crenshaw is going to lead things off here for the DiamondDawgs, followed by Roberto Valdez Jr. and Harsh Ramayana Venkat. But first, here's Joe Crenshaw. Crenshaw popped out in his first at bat here this evening. Here's the pitch. And that's fouled off the ankle of Crenshaw. And the count 0-1. Crenshaw's going to walk it off. 0-1. And no balls on the strike. Crenshaw makes his way back into the box. And awaits the 0-1 pitch now. There's a swing and a miss by Crenshaw. The count now 0-2. Again, Crenshaw, Venkat, and Payne all due up here. I'm sorry, Crenshaw, Valdez, and Venkat all due up here in the inning. And that one misses for ball one. And the count 1-2 now to Crenshaw. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And that one misses for ball 2. And the count even at 2-2. And they check to see if he went. No, he did not. And the count 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and there is strike 3 to Crenshaw.
Now that for your Dogs, second baseman number 6 from St. John's University, Roberto Valdez Jr.
So here is Roberto Valdez Jr. for the Dogs. He also popped out in his first attempt here tonight. So here is shot number 2 for Valdez Jr. First pitch is high for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. One 0 pitch. Outside. Ball 2. So 2-0 here to Valdez with Harsh Venkat on deck for the Dogs. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom 4. Here's the pitch. Called strike, 2-1. So with 1 out, 2 balls and a strike here to Roberto Valdez Jr., the second baseman for the Dogs. Here's Rob with the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that will even the count at 2-2. So Valdez Jr., a right-handed batter, facing a 2-2 count here from the righty Maverick Rob, sorry. 2-2. And swing and a miss. And down goes Valdez for out number 2.
Now batting for your Dogs, third baseman number 21 from Brown University, Harsh Ramayana Venkat.
So here's Harsh Ramayana Venkat. He popped out in his first try tonight. And he's going to get a second try here against the same pitcher, Maverick Rob. This time with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. All game tied 4-4. There's a strike count on 1. So no balls in, 1 strike, 2 outs. Rob delivers the pitch. And that is popped up. And right fielder tells the second baseman, I got it. Ends the inning. Score remains tied 4-4.
After 4 full fans, the score.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. services. The Tire Shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
And we are back for the top of the 5th inning. And a new pitcher on the mound for Mohawk Valley is Dylan Ancelli. So Dylan Ancelli now pitching for Mohawk Valley. And with that, we'll have a quick chat between Joe Crenshaw and Ancelli. And once they're done, Nolan Stark will be the batter here for Oneonta. It'll be Nolan Stark, Fabio Marquez, and Daniel Tomei III. All due up here in the top of the 5th inning for Oneonta. And so here is Stark, steps into the batter's box. He tripled and he walked here tonight. First time facing Ancelli, and that one is just a bit outside for ball 1. That one actually thrown way past the catcher. And he didn't even move, basically stuck his arm out and like, nope, not getting that one. So 1-0 now to Stark. Here's Ancelli now with the windup and the pitch. Outside and high for ball 2, and the count now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Stark. And that ball hit hard into right field for a base hit for Nolan Stark to start the inning here for Oneonta. So Fabio Marquez now will come to the plate. He has singled twice here tonight.
Third baseman, number 40 from Coker University, Fabio Marquez.
So Fabio Marquez, the third baseman, right-handed batter for Oneonta, will step into the batter's box here in the top of the 5th with a runner on first. Nobody out. All game tied 4-4. And the pitcher now on the mound for Mohawk Valley is Dylan Ancelli. Ancelli winds and delivers, and that's popped up into foul territory. 0-1 to Marquez. So Oneonta has their own Fabio here. Not every team can say they have a Fabio on the team. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that one misses. And the count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Marquez. 4-4 the score. And back to first base goes Ancelli. Runner gets back quickly to Stark. 1-1 count. Here is the windup now in the pitch to Ancelli. From Ancelli, I'm sorry. And that one hits Fabio. And he will take his base.
Now batting for the Outlaws, second baseman number 5 from the University of Mount Union, Daniel Tomei III.
So here's Daniel Tomei III, the second baseman. He also has singled twice tonight. He is a left-handed batter for Oneonta. So things not going the way Ancelli was hoping when he entered this ball game. First 2 batters he's faced, he has put them on base. Stark with a single and Marquez with a hit by pitch. Here's Tomei. And he shows bunt. Here's the pitch, and he pulls it back, and that gets away from Crenshaw. And pass ball, and runners advance to second and third. And now the count 1-0 to Tomei with the runners in scoring position. So never mind that bunt, as now runners are right where they wanted them. Nobody out here for the Outlaws in the top of the 5th. And Ancelli now sets. Looks at the runner at second base before he delivers the pitch. And that is hit into left field, and that's going to score a couple runs. There's 1 run. Here's run number 2. And sliding into second safely is Tomei with a double. So 2-run score, and Oneonta jumps out back ahead 6-4 after the double from Daniel Tomei. So Colton Penner now the batter. Colton Penner has reached on the fielder's choice and struck out looking in his first at bat. He's a right-handed batter facing the righty here in Ancelli. Nobody out still here. Ancelli looking for his first out still in the inning. Here's the windup and the pitch. In the dirt, stop by Crenshaw. 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Ancelli grabs the rosin bag, hoping that gives him some luck here with the strike zone. 1-0 the count. Nobody out. Runner on second for Oneonta. They've already scored 2 runs. Here's the pitch. And that one misses down low for ball 2.
There's no mic. Mic is off.
2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that one is hit to left field. And it's going to drop in front of the left fielder, Coleman. And runners now on first and third for Oneonta.
The Outlaws, shortstop number 7 from SUNY Brockport, Blake Fortunato.
Fat boy? Yeah. And then a candy bar. Like Reese's or Butterfinger.
Just water. Here is Blake Fortunato now. Nothing.
Well, what did they do? I'm asking you how did I get out?
And there's a single to center field. And another run scores here for Oneonta. 7-4, I believe.
For the Outlaws, extra hitter number 48 from SUNY Cobleskill.
So a run scores.
What's the score? 7-4.
Here is Caden Kraus, who has struck out twice this evening. So runners on first and second here for Oneonta. 7-4 the score for them as they've picked up some runs here, 3 in the inning. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Ball 1. And Ancelli again going to the rosin bag, visibly frustrated here. One and 0 to Kraus. Here is the windup and the pitch. And that is fouled off on the first base side And the count 1-1. So Kraus, the batter, Zachary Rowe on deck. And for Oneonta, runners on first and second. Nobody out still here in the top of the fifth. It's been a rough go here for Dylan Ancelli, still looking for his first out since he's entered this game here in the top of the fifth inning. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. And that one misses for ball two in the count, 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Here's the windup. And the pitch slowly coming here. And in the dirt, stop by Crenshaw. So Crenshaw's doing some work behind there, keeping that ball in front of him. 3-1 the count. Caden Kraus, the batter, he struck out twice, facing a 3-1 count with runners on first and second. 3-1 pitch on its way. And that's fouled off, and the count now 3-2. So Ancelli really wants to win this one here and pick up an out. 3-2 as he waits Caden Kraus to come back into the batter's box. 3-2 pitch from Ancelli. Coming momentarily. Here it is. And that one hit down the third base line fair. And a run's going to score. And they're going to stop the other one at third. So a double for Kraus scores a run. And the score now 8-4 Oneonta, with Zachary Rowe coming to the plate for the Outlaws. And with that, a trip out to the mound as pitching coach looks down to see who is available down there, making sure somebody might be warming up or is ready. And let's see if he takes the ball away here from Ancelli, who has struggled. And it looks like Ancelli's going to remain in the ball game, as pitching coach tries to give him some encouragement. Teammates give him some fist pumps, and he will remain here in the game as Zachary Rowe comes to the plate. So here's Rowe with the runners on second and third. Again, nobody out here. Top of the fifth. 4 runs already have come across for Oneonta. Here's Ancelli. Looks, winds and delivers, and puts it outside. 4-1. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, Ancelli looking in. He's got runners on second and third. Again, scoring position with a Rowe at the plate. Here's the pitch. And that's fouled off on the count now, 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Zachary Rowe, who has walked and doubled here already tonight. And he's facing Dylan Ancelli here in the top of the fifth. Nobody out. Runners on second and third. And that is fouled off, and the count now 1-2. And Ancelli again looking to get another strike to try to pick up his first out here of the inning, as he desperately needs it here, as he's struggling mightily in this inning. 1-2. And Ancelli looks in. He's going to kick, wind, and deliver. And there's a swing and a miss, and he will touch. It was a drop 3, and that is out number 1. So Ancelli strikes out Rowe for the first out of the top of the fifth. And Jack Lockwood will come to the plate. So here's Lockwood with 1 out. Lockwood 0 for 2, grounded out, popped out here tonight. And he faces Ancelli for the first time. Ancelli delivers, puts it in the dirt for ball one. One ball, no strikes. So 1-0 count, and Ancelli looks in, picks up his sign from his catcher. As Crenshaw behind the plate, 1-0. Here's the pitch. And that is hit into left field. And it is going foul, and it is out of play. And the count now 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1-1 count here to Lockwood. Ancelli looks in. He sets. And he's going to kick, wind, and deliver. And that one hit into left field. And again, foul as Coleman tried to get there, but not in time. And they count 1-2 now. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Lockwood. Again, just 1 out here for Oneonta with the runners on second and third. 1-2 pitch on its way here from Ancelli. And that is popped up. And Crenshaw calls everybody off, makes the grab for out number 2. And so 2 outs. Now we go back to the top of the order with P.J. Strand. So P.J. Strand now the batter here for Oneonta with 2 outs. Again, runners in scoring position, second and third. First pitch to Strand, calls strike, the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. And that one misses for ball 1 and the count 1-1. 1-1 count with 2 outs. 8-4 the score, top of the 5th. Outlaws ahead here of the DiamondDawgs. 1-1. There's Ancelli. That one misses inside for ball 2. And the count now 2-1. So more kids have joined the basketball game out in the court. A bunch of kids on the sidelines as well. So they got their own game going on over there. 2-1. Ancelli sets now and is going to deliver on the 2-1 here to Strand. Inside again, 3-1 now. Ancelli just has 1 spot available at first base here with a 3-1 count. Three and 1 now to Strand. He's pounced out, struck out, and walked here tonight. 3-1 pitch on its way. And that is high for ball 4. And that will load the bases for the catcher, Vincent Duffy.
Coming with the Outlaws, catcher number 10 from Seton Hall, Vincent Duffy.
And with Vincent Duffy coming to the plate, that'll be it for Ancelli as they're going to go to the bullpen. We're going to take a break. Be back after this.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And we are back. We have a new pitcher on the mound for Mohawk Valley. That is Hayden Stroud. Hayden Stroud now pitching for Mohawk Valley. So here's Vincent Duffy, who has popped out, was hit by a pitch and grounded out. And Duffy has bases loaded here for Oneonta. 8-4 is the score, 2 outs. Stroud really looking for an out here. This is badly needed here for the Dogs. And the first pitch by Stroud in the dirt, 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. DJ Stroud hitting .315. PJ Strand. Stroud on the mound. Inside, ball 2. So 2-0 here. And actually, Duffy is batting. I'm sorry, I got it all messed up. I don't know what I'm talking about. 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Thanks for hanging with us, despite me giving you the wrong information. That's outside. And stopped by Crenshaw. He's got to really dive for that one. And the count now 3-0. This is a problem here because the bases are loaded and there's no place to put Duffy. So 3 balls and no strikes here with Hayden Stroud on the mound. Struggling. Here's the 3-0. Ball, strike 1. Sorry. 3 balls and 1 strike. I'm struggling just as bad as these pitchers are tonight. 3-1 now. And the pitch. Ball 4. He'll take a base. And a run will score. So Nolan Stark, who has tripled, walked, and singled. Now the batter for Oneonta. Still 2 outs. Bases loaded. 9-4 Oneonta. 5-run inning thus far for the Outlaws. Stroud, a left-handed pitcher, facing the lefty here in Stark. Here's the windup and the pitch. Outside, down low, ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch. And that ball hit hard to right field. The right fielder makes the grab. And that will end a brutal inning for the Dogs. 5 runs, 9-4. The score, Oneonta ahead.
Visit the Daily Post and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the Mohawk Valley. Our mission is to generate interest in the area and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals' interest alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our podcast, or sign up for our weekly email newsletter. Stop by today at thedailypost.digital. You'll be glad you did.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or
And we're back. Ryan Payne will lead things off here for the Dogs. It'll be Ryan Payne, bottom of the order. Then back to the top with Eric Diaz and Jake Hardy. Here's the pitch, and that is hit to the shortstop, who scoops it and throws on over for out number one. So Ryan Payne rounds out to the shortstop for out number one.
14 from UConn, Eric Diaz.
So here's Eric Diaz, top of the order for the Dogs. Diaz struck out in his last at bat. He's going to come to the plate. Left-handed batters is Diaz. Is going to face the righty here. Diaz singled and struck out thus far. Bottom five, one out. That one misses for ball one to Diaz. The count 1-0. So 9 runs, 11 hits for Oneonta, 4 and 6 for the Dogs. That one misses for ball two, and the count 2-0 to Diaz. So 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 pitch on the way, and that has popped up into foul territory in the count 2-1. Starter Maverick Rob still in the ball game here for Oneonta. 2-1 pitch now coming to Diaz. And Diaz pops that one up. And the third baseman calling everybody off. Say, I got it. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting for your Dogs, right fielder number 4 from Fairfield University, Jake Hardy.
So here's Jake Hardy, 0 for 2 tonight. Has grounded out and popped out. The right-hander is Hardy. And looking for something, anything here with the Dogs. Down 9-4 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And there's a curveball to Hardy, called strike 1, 0-1. No balls and a strike with 2 outs. Here's the windup and the pitch by Rob. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And the count now 0-2. People throwing stuff around here, which I can understand. A lot of frustration going on right now with the Dogs down 9-4. 0-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one comes right back at us. Again, it's getting a lot more unsafe up here with all these foul balls coming our way. Put a lot of trust into this chain link fence, but not say I trust it entirely. 0-2. And there is strike 3 to end the inning. So a quick inning for the Dogs. They trail 9-4 after 5.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
For Oneonta, third baseman number 40 from Coker University, Fabio Marquez.
And we're back. Top of the 6th, Fabio Marquez will lead things off here for Oneonta, followed by Daniel Tomei III and Colton Penner. So here is Marquez facing Stroud for the first time. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Marquez awaits the pitch. And there's strike 1. The count 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Stroud ready to go and winds and delivers. That one misses for ball 2, and the count now 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. That one misses high for ball 3. The count 3-1. So Fabio Marquez hit by a pitch last at bat, also singled twice here tonight. He's facing a 3-1 count here in the top of the 6th. Nobody out, nobody on. Here's the pitch. And there's ball 4. And Marquez will walk.
Now batting for the Outlaws, second baseman number 5 from the University of Mount Union, Daniel Tomei III.
So Daniel Tomei III down the batter for Oneonta. Steps up to the plate with nobody out. And a runner on first base with a 9-4 advantage. Stroud ready and delivers. Down low for ball 1. 1-0 to Tomei. Tomei has doubled and singled twice here tonight. So 3 for 3 is Tomei with a runner on first. 1-0 pitch in the dirt, and that one's going to get away. Takes a big bounce on Crenshaw, and the runner's going to start heading to third, but he's going to head on back to second. Said, no, I'm good with that one. So runner now in scoring position quickly for Oneonta. Again, Oneonta 11-18 coming into this game. Have lost 2 straight and are a game and a half behind Mohawk Valley for the 4th and final playoff spot. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch from Stroud. Swing and a miss. 2-1 now. And looks like the kids have gotten a game of kickball going on with the beach ball. Kids always find something fun to do no matter what's going on. 2-1 the count, and here's the pitch. And that one has popped up into left field. This could be trouble, and he made the grab. So a sliding catch by the left fielder, Kyle Coleman, for out number 1. So Colton Penner will come to the plate for Oneonta. Nice play there in left field by Kyle Coleman. Came all the way in from the left field and made the sliding grab. Weren't sure at first if he made the catch, but got his glove underneath it and made the sliding catch. So here is Penner. And it down low to Penner for ball 1. So runner on second here for Oneonta with 1 out. Penner has struck out looking, reached on the fielder's choice, and singled in this ball game. He's facing Hayden Stroud here in the top of the 6th. Outside, ball 2. So 2-0 the count here to Penner. Stroud looks in, picks up his sign from his catcher. Takes a while to get the sign. Now he's good to go. And will deliver on the 2-0 pitch with that runner on second base. And that one is hit to left field. And Coleman again makes the grab for out number 2. The runner will tag up and head to third. And now 2 outs for Blake Fortunato.
Shortstop number 7 from SUNY Brockport, Blake Fortunato.
So Blake Fortunato now the batter here. Lefty versus lefty here with Stroud delivering the pitch. Down low, ball 1. One ball in, no strikes, 2 outs here. And that is outside for ball 2. Two balls and no strikes, 2 outs. And that is high for ball 3. Well, Fortunato steps back in the box here, facing a 3-0 count as he is in control here. And there's a strike in the count, 3-1. Well, 3 balls and 1 strike now to Fortunato, still in control here at the plate against Stroud. Stroud's got to deliver pitches. Strikes here to finish things off here for the inning. There's a swing and a miss by Fortunato, and just like that, Stroud has battled himself back in here to a full count, 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch from Stroud. And called strike 3 as Fortunato didn't like it. Ends the inning, and the score 9-4.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
DiamondDawgs left fielder number 25 from Belmont University, Kyle Coleman.
And we are back for the bottom of the sixth. Kyle Coleman will lead things off for the DiamondDawgs, followed by Brody Frecker and Connor Scallon. So first here is Coleman. Coleman 2 for 2 with 2 singles here tonight. And then it's popped foul. The count 0-1 to Coleman. Coleman made a nice grab in left field for the Dogs in the last inning. Also responsible for 2 of the outs as he made 2 catches out there. 0-1 now. Here's the pitch. High and inside. 1-1. One count. There's the windup and the pitch, and that's fouled off here behind us in the count 1-2. So Maverick Rob still the pitcher. He's a starting pitcher in the ball game. Here in the bottom of the sixth, still wheeling and dealing for Oneonta. 1-2, the count to Coleman. In the dirt, and the count 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3, and out is Coleman. So Coleman goes down looking.
Designated hitter number 19 from George Washington University, Brody Frecker.
So Brody Frecker, the DH, he hit a home run in his last at bat. And the Dogs wouldn't mind that again here as we're down 9-4 with 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the sixth. And there's a strike to Frecker down the outside corner. And the count 0-1. Connor Scallon on deck. And there's strike 2, outside corner again. This time a little higher. And quickly 0-2 in the count. With an 0-2 count, here's Rob with the pitch. That is high for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brody Frecker here in the bottom of the sixth with 1 out. Nobody on for the Dogs. They trail 9-4. Rob delivers. Outside, ball 2. That will even the count up at 2-2 here to Frecker. Frecker, a right-handed batter facing the righty, and starter Maverick Rob. Inside, ball 3. The count now full at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see who can win this battle here, pitcher or hitter. Rob the pitcher, Frecker the hitter, and called strike 3. Frecker doesn't like that call as he strikes out looking. That was outside, but inside enough to get a strike call. So Connor Scallon now the batter with 2 outs, nobody on for the Dogs. Scallon has doubled and struck out tonight. So the last 2 batters struck out looking. Coleman and Frecker. If you go back one more, the prior inning, Jake Hardy also struck out. And that one is lifted into right field, and the right fielder makes the catch to end the inning. And that's it. 9-4, the score remains.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
And we are back for the top of the 7th inning here at Veterans Memorial Park in Little Falls. You're listening to the perfect game collegiate baseball league action between the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs and the Oneonta Outlaws. So Caden Kraus is going to lead things off here in the top of the 7th for Oneonta. They lead 9-4. So here is Kraus ready to face Hayden Stroud. Kraus has struck out twice, doubled his last at bat, and he's the extra hitter. And there's ball 1. As it's been the way we've been starting a lot of these at bats with first pitch balls. 1-0 count. And that one is fouled off on the first base line by Kraus. And they count now 1-1. Ball and a strike here to Kraus. It'll be Kraus followed by Zachary Rowe and then Jack Lockwood. Bottom of the order here for Oneonta. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 2. And 1-2 now ahead on the count is Stroud. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kraus gets back in the box as Stroud is looking on, and he's going to take a second to get his sign from his catcher and now deliver on the 1-2. And outside, gets away from Crenshaw. That one's way outside and stuck his glove out, but not going to get that one unless you're Inspector Gadget. 2-2. Kids nowadays might not even know who Inspector Gadget is. But I know who Inspector Gadget. Oh, I'm getting nose up here. I'm old, dude. 2-2. And that one misses for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. If you get a chance, go on YouTube, look up Inspector Gadget. It's a cartoon. You probably won't like them because we watched weird things when we were kids. 3-2. Like when I told my kids about Elf. They're like, what is that furry thing that eats cats? It's Elf, man. 3-2. They didn't like that either. I also tried to get them to watch E.T., and they thought that was weird. I mean, you don't like weird-looking things that are like aliens? I guess not. 3-2. How about the Smurfs? Little blue things that run around. They're kind of cute. And that is a ground ball for out number 1.
Now batting for the Outlaws, designated hitter number 6 from SUNY Oneonta, Zachary Rowe.
So Zachary Rowe.
The Smurfs live in mushroom houses.
They do live in mushroom houses. See, at least somebody knows the Smurfs. I'm not sure. I'm kind of getting the feeling that he doesn't respect the Smurfs right now. He made fun of their house. He said they live in a Smurf in a mushroom house. So, why are you judging, man? There's a strike.
Scooby-Doo, right? Come on. Scooby Snacks. We're looking for ghosts. Come on, man.
Aslo brought up Scooby-Doo, nice little dog. Kind of goes good with the dog theme here. 1-1 the count as we're off on a tangent here tonight, as usual. And that one's hit on the ground. They throw it away. And the runner is going to be safe at first base. His little dribbler down by the third base line, and they threw it away, and the pitcher grabs it and throws it to first base. So an error on the pitcher. So I guess now that I have everyone's attention with the Smurfs and everyone's listening, and hang on, we'll announce the batter first. So here's Jack Lockwood, who has gone 0 for 3, popped out, grounded out, and popped out tonight. So if she's listening, Smurfette, I've always had a crush on you. I'm just saying. I know you're blue, kind of weird, but I do like you. and you live in a mushroom, like, we can run off, and I'll buy you the biggest mushroom house ever. Did I just propose to Smurfette? Hopefully my wife's not listening, but I think she'd understand because, like, you don't always have that opportunity. Like, you know, like if Brad Pitt came by and be like, hey, listen, Josh, you want to, like, go off and go live in a mushroom house? I mean, she might say yes, and I wouldn't be mad. I mean, I wouldn't be mad because it is a mushroom house. And it is Brad Pitt, I guess, right? 2-0. So, yeah, we're going to get back to baseball. But, you know, if she's listening, send me a DM. We'll talk later. 2-0, 1 out.
Do you remember the Rally Pikachu?
Rally Pikachu. Yes, I do remember that. And there was a swing and a miss. As brought up something kind of funny. So we, as you know, it gets hot up here sometimes. We get delirious. We start talking about random stuff. And we were down one game, and we had the rally hits going on. And then out of nowhere, we're like, let's bring out the Rally Pikachu. And I think we won the game, so we brought back Rally Pikachu. But Rally Pikachu is long gone. He's on the bigger and better things. He's in the major leagues now, 2-2. So that's the thing. We get people in the majors here. I mean, our field guys in the majors who worked on the fields for us. He made it to the big leagues. Tommy, yep. We had some ball players make it to the bigs. And Rally Pikachu. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a trip out to the mound for Crenshaw. I think Josh is getting cranky. It's getting late. Past his bedtime. And is it 9 o'clock yet? Because I haven't heard the train yet. 8:50, so 10 minutes until the train rolls in here to Little Falls. So if you're trying to get on the train, make sure you start heading out to the tracks. Well, there's not a train station in Little Falls, I don't think, right? No. So if you're going to get on the train, you got to just hop it. You just got to, like, get a running start and just jump on. 2-2. Yeah, I wish I could do this as 2, honestly, because sometimes the drive back home is long. And there's a swing and a miss for out number 2. We go back to the top of the order now with P.J. Strand. So Strand versus Stroud here in the top of the 7th inning with 2 outs. 9-4 is the score. Runner on second base for Oneonta. Here's Stroud with the pitch to Strand. And there's a called strike 1. 0-1. When I think of the name Stroud, I think of football. I think of the quarterback for the Houston Texans. Let's see what kind of season they have this year. Everybody has a chance this time of year. Even the Jets. That one has popped up. And they count 0-2. You know, the Raiders are going to look pretty good. I think they're going to look good. Mendoza at quarterback.
Mendoza's not going to start.
He's not going to start. You're right. But give him time. They are going to start. Kirk Cousins is the most, like, opportune guy in the world. He just goes places and signs big contracts. It's awesome. 0-2. And that one misses for ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. But I do think the Raiders are on their way up. I think it's about time the Raiders are good again. Let's go. Everything is better in the world when the Raiders are good at football, right? As is not too confident right now about the Raiders. He's not. 1-2. Not a football fan here in the booth. We got a baseball fan in the booth. All right, that's good. She's at the right place then. 1-2. I'm just going to say she's a Yankee fan and she's not. She's shaking his head, so we're going to go to commercial. We're going to find out what kind of fan she is, and then we'll see if she's going to stay in the booth after this. Back after this.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
So here is Joe Crenshaw, the batter for the Dogs. And Crenshaw is the batter here. We get a visitor in the booth. That was weird. Looking for Scott. Scott, where are you, buddy? We had to get a visitor up here tonight. No balls and 1 strike to Crenshaw. It's a little thrown off. Scott, the hockey guy. And there is ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So where's Scott? I pointed to Dave. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know who's up here anymore. 1 and 1. I was like, yeah, he's over there. And she looks at him and she's like, Scott. And then she's like, that's not Scott. Yeah, well. 2-1 the count. So I did a little research during the break. And I found out our intern is a Red Sox fan. So I'm not sure what we're going to do about this. 2-2. I thought Dave vetted these people when he hired them. I mean, what is going on? I do like her, though. She does a good job. I mean, I guess you can't blame her for... I'll have to blame her parents. They raised her wrong. 2-2. Mom, daddy listening out there. Just a bad job raising your child as a Red Sox fan. I mean, should have called Child Protective Services on you like at a young age or something. 2-2. I'm going to joke. I'm going to explain for a second because I do talk about how I don't like the Red Sox, but there's a story a little bit. I had a little love for them at one time. I once popped up into the glove of the right fielder for out number 1. So I grew up a Mets fan. And then I was, when I was about 16 years old. Hang on a second. So here's Roberto Valdez Jr. So I grew up a Mets fan, and the only reason was because that was what was on TV, so I just watched it, right? I couldn't find a Yankee station when I was a kid, apparently. I don't know. So that was the Mets, and I liked Ralph Kine. I liked his voice, right? So that's how I became a Mets fan. So then I met my wife, and the Mets stunk at the time. And she's like, why do you like the Mets? I'm like, because I don't know. I just do. And so we moved out to Albany because I got my job out there with the state, and we knew nobody. So we started watching games, and also we started watching the Yankees because they were actually decent. And then I'm like, oh, I kind of like the Yankees. So then I became a Yankee fan. But before that, okay, I skipped the stage. When I was 16, I was working. Yeah, it is a long story. We got plenty of time here, Dave. If not, we'll just stay on the air longer and keep talking. So when I was 16, I was working for the Utica Blue Sox, the other team, and I was a groundskeeper. And we were affiliated with the Boston Red Sox, so I met a lot of Red Sox stars and Red Sox old-timers. So I kind of liked them back then. And then I realized I didn't like them. So anyways, now I'm a Yankee fan. 3-1 count. I just like baseball, to be honest with you. That ball is hit to past the shortstop for a base hit. Yeah, I mean, you know,
And for the Dogs, third baseman number 21 from Brown University, March Ramayanam. Thank
So here's Harsh, Romanyan, and Venkat. I mean, you kind of fall in love with things throughout your life, right? I mean, Dave missed it. I did propose on the air today, Dave. Well, I said slide on my DMs. I don't know if you know what that means. So I'm waiting. It's I'll tell you who it is in a second. I mean, it's kind of a blockbuster, Dave. Oh, she'll make breakfast. Yeah, she's good at that stuff. I've seen her. I think I've seen her like do it before. Smurfette. I basically like she's gonna say yes because I said to her because Ezzo said that they live in mushroom houses. I think he was making fun of them a little bit. But I said to her, I will buy her the biggest mushroom house ever. So I'm sure she'll say yes. Here's the pitch. And no balls and 2 strikes. I think Brainy played baseball when as a Smurf. 1 ball and no balls and 2 strikes. So anyways, back to baseball. 0-2 the count with 1 out. Dogs have a runner on first, down 9-4. Bottom 7, there's a swing and a miss, and that is out number 2 as Venkat strikes out.
Shortstop number 27 from Fairfield University, Ryan Payne.
So Ryan Payne now the batter for Mohawk Valley with 2 outs. 9-4 the score. Dogs need to get going here. The game is starting to get in the later innings here. 2 outs. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one scampers away from the catcher. Runner's going to head to second base. He's going to round second and go back to second. So now at second base, so runner in scoring position for the Dogs. And like we always say, 1 run at a time is how the Dogs got to do this and get back in this thing. Have you seen it before? Once the bats get hot, they can score runs quickly. And that's what they're hoping for here tonight. Down 9-4 in a playoff race. So tomorrow, Boonville. At Boonville, another big game for the Dogs. And then they come back here on Sunday for a home game against the Utica Blue Sox. And that one misses for ball 2, and the count now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes, 2 outs. Just 3 home games left after tonight. So make sure you mark your calendars, find your way here, and catch a game here at the beautiful Vets Memorial Park. There's a swing and a miss, and the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs here to Payne. Runner on second. Here's the windup and the pitch. Called strike 2. And the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Payne. So after Payne, we go back to the top of the order as Eric Diaz awaits. 2-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. And swing and a miss, and down goes Payne to end the inning. And the score remains 9-4 after 7. Back after this.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
From Davis Nelson College, number 12, Colin Schneider. That's Schneider, number 12, now pitching for Mohawk Valley. And now batting for the Outlaws, catcher number 10 from Seton Hall, Vincent Duffy.
And we are back. New pitcher on the mound for Mohawk Valley is Colin Schneider. So Colin Schneider now pitching here in the top of the 8th inning for Mohawk Valley. And the pitch to Duffy is fouled off. That is Vincent Duffy. And the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Duffy. 0-1 pitch. Now here it comes. And that one misses. And the count now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Duffy. Duffy has walked in his last at bat. Also grounded out, was hit by a pitch, and popped out in this ball game. Here's the 1-1. And that is fouled off. Nope, not fouled off. Fair ball, sorry. I can't see half the field where I'm standing. And that is out number 1. Looked foul, and then I was like, you know what? I should probably peek out and see.
Center fielder number 8 from the Culinary Academy, Nolan Stark.
So Nolan Stark now the batter with 1 out here for Oneonta. Oneonta 9-4 lead here in the top of the 8th. Dogs are running out of time. If they need to make this comeback, they got 2 innings to do it. Schneider now winds and delivers. And puts it down low for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes to Duffy. To Stark. 1-0 with 1 out. Nobody on. Here's the windup, the pitch. Outside. Ball 2. Pitch was thrown back to Schneider a little high, but he made the catch. 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Stark. And Stark fouls that one off, and the count now 2-1. That one fouled off on the first base line. And the count 2-1. So fans still hanging out here in the ballpark. Some kids are still hanging out in the basketball courts. Two-1 now the count to Stark. There's the windup and the pitch. Outside ball 3. That puts us at 3-1 now. Right-hander pitcher is Schneider. And that is popped up high to right field. And the right fielder makes the grab for out number 2. So Schneider looking for one more here. And here's Fabio Marquez. So Marquez will step into the batter's box with 2 outs. As Schneider throws the ball back, wants a better ball. And he's going to get just that. So with 2 outs, here's Marquez, Fabio Marquez. And he will step into the box with nobody on. And 2 outs here in the top of the 8th with a 9-4 Oneonta lead. Here's the windup and the pitch by Schneider outside. Ball 1. One 1-0 count. Marquez jumps back in the box, taps the plate, and now awaits the pitch from Schneider. Here it is. And pulls back on a swing, and they say, did he go? No, he did not. And the count 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs to Marquez. Here's Schneider with the 2-0. Right down the middle, called strike 1, and the count now 2-1. So 2-1 the count to Marquez. He singled twice tonight. Was hit by a pitch and walked. And he fouls that one off. And the count now 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Schneider looking for one more strike here to get his team to the bottom half of the 8th and try to cut into that 9-4 lead. Here's the windup and the 2-2. That is hit into right field. That's going to be a base hit. And the inning will continue here for Oneonta. And that puts a runner on first base by way of Marquez. And Daniel Tomei will come to the plate. Tomei popped out in his last at-bat, but also doubled and singled twice tonight. He is a left-handed batter to face the righty here in Schneider. Runner on first base here for Oneonta. 2 outs, top of the 8th. Here's Schneider. Outside, ball 1. So 1-0 here to Tomei. 1-0 pitch. And that's going to get snagged by the second baseman, but he can't get up in time to deliver the ball over to first base. That was a tough play by him. As he made the grab, but that was another one deep in the hole, tough to get. So a single by Tomei will bring up Penner. Penner has struck out looking, reached on the fielder's choice. He singled and popped out. He bats from the right side here with the runners now on first and second. So Penner ready to go. And so is Schneider. Here's the pitch. And that one is hit into a left field. Left fielder trying to make the grab and does not, as it's a foul ball. And the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Penner. As Blake Fortunato is on deck. So Coleman making a long run to try to grab that ball. It was in foul territory. Now getting back to his post in left field. So 0-1 the count here. Top of the 8th for Oneonta. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. They lead 9-4. Looking for a little more here. And there's a strike in the count now. 0-2 to Penner. No balls and 2 strikes. Colton Schneider looking for a strike here to get out of this inning. And that one is popped up. And second baseman says, I got it. Makes the catch. Ends the inning. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Dogs down 9-4.
Rolled into town at the break of dawn. Fog on the canal, the river rolls on. Main Street whisper with an old-time song. In Little Falls, I know I belong. Oh, Little Falls lights shine in the night. Small town heart burning steady and bright. Wherever I wander, I find my way home. In Little Falls, I'm never alone. Brick front shops and a hometown smile. Kayaks drifting on the Erie Canal. Summer nights dancing under the stars. This little town beats big in my heart. Oh, Little Falls lights shine in the night. Small town heart burning steady and bright. Wherever I wander, I find my way home. In Little Falls, I'm never alone. In Little Falls, I'm never alone. Seasons change, but the feeling stays. Autumn gold or the winter's haze. Every road, no matter how long, leads me back where I belong. Oh, Little Falls lights shine in the night. Small town heart burning steady and bright. Wherever I wander, I find my way home.
we are back. New pitcher on the mound for Oneonta is Christopher Betullios. So Christopher Betullios now pitching for Oneonta, and for the Dogs, it'll be Eric Diaz to lead things off. So 1, 2, 3 here for the Dogs. Eric Diaz, Jake Hardy, and Kyle Coleman here in the bottom of the 8th. Dogs down 9-4 as they need to start now hitting the ball to get back into this ball game before the innings are expired. There's a swing and a miss, 0-1 now to count to Diaz from Betullios. Betullios, a right-handed pitcher for Oneonta. He replaces the starter, who has gone this entire game pitching well. 0-1, here's the pitch. And that is high, and the count 1-1 to Diaz. So Diaz steps out of the box, takes a practice cut. 1-1. As Betullios looks in, is ready to deliver on the 1-1 here to Diaz. He kicks that front leg, will wind and deliver. He's taking his time. Here it is. And down low for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Diaz here. Diaz taps the plate, ready to go, 2-1 as he awaits Betullios' pitch. Here's a 2-1. And checks his swing, and that is ball 3 in the count, 3-1. So Jake Hardy awaits on deck with Eric Diaz facing a 3-1 count. Betullios looks in, winds, delivers, and that is popped foul. And the count now full at 3-2 now to Diaz. Eric Diaz, the center fielder for the Dogs, last time up, popped out. Also has struck out and singled. 3-2. Betullios looks in, picks up his sign from his catcher, brings his glove to his chest, and he's going to kick, wind, and deliver momentarily. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Betullios. And swing and a miss. And down goes Diaz for out number 1. So Jake Hardy, now the batter for the Dogs. So Hardy 0 for 3 tonight. Grounded out, popped out, and struck out. Looking to change that here with the 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. So Hardy steps into the box. Ready to face Betullios here for the first time tonight. Nobody on with 1 out. We are in the bottom of the 8th here. Dogs down 9-4 against Oneonta. And there's a called strike 1 to Hardy, and the count 0-1. So just to recap that playoff race that is going on between these two, the Dogs have the 4th spot in the East, a game and a half ahead coming into this game here tonight against Oneonta. So Oneonta trying to pick up a game here. So big games coming up for both teams, but both teams here needing this win for the playoff race. As I mentioned, Dogs tomorrow will head to Boonville. They're also chasing them right behind. Oh, they're not. Sorry, they're at the bottom of the thing. Sorry, wrong team. That's Glens Falls. I was thinking of Glens Falls. Sorry. 0-2. So another big game for the Dogs. Regardless, that's a game they need to take. And then they come back here on another important game on Sunday. Every game is going to be important from here on out. But Sunday they'll be back here at Vets Memorial Park as the Blue Sox come to town. 1-2 to Hardy. Here's the pitch. And that is fouled off by Hardy. And they count 1-2. So just 3 home games left for the Dogs. So if you want to come out and see your Dogs here at home, you got to either come out on Sunday or check the rest of the schedule and make sure you come out here and catch a game. If not, you'll have to head on the road. And not many of those games left either. 1-2 with 1 out to Hardy. Here's the windup now and the pitch from Betullios. And that one misses. And the count even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hardy at the plate with nobody on here. And 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Dogs down 5. Here's the pitch. And a little chopper fouled on the third base line, and the count's going to remain 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a big weekend if you're a soccer fan. The World Cup Finals on Sunday. Spain, Argentina. That should be a good matchup. 2 different styles of soccer played by both teams. And there is a called strike 3, and Hardy goes down for out number 2.
Now batting for your Dogs, left fielder number 25 from Belmont University, Kyle Coleman.
So here's Kyle Coleman with 2 outs. We was talking about that World Cup game, so obviously Messi with Argentina. And the Spaniards playing that smaller defensive style. So we'll see. Should be a good matchup, I hope. Time will tell. Here is the pitch from Betuios to Coleman. Called a strike 1, and the count 0-1. So Dogs down 5, down to their final 4 outs here in the ballgame. 0-1. Here's Coleman awaiting the pitch. Here's Betuios with that pitch and puts it down the center of the plate, and now 0-2. So ahead in the count is Betuios. As Kyle Coleman, 2 singles to start the ball game, and then struck out looking in his last at bat. He's down 0-2 here in the count with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's Betuios looking to shut him down. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And just missing for ball 1. So 1-2 now to Coleman. And Coleman takes a few practice cuts with his bat. Windmill type cuts. Now back in the box. 1-2. Betuios sets. Kicks and delivers. And that's fouled off by Coleman. And he continues to hang in there with a 1-2 count at the plate. A ball in, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Betuios sets now. He's going to kick, wind, and deliver. And that one is hit to center field by Coleman. That's going to be good for a base hit. And he keeps things alive here for the Dogs in the bottom of the 8th. So Coleman with a single to a left, right center field.
From George Washington University, Brody Frecker.
So there's Brody Frecker, who hit a home run in the ball game tonight. Also singled and struck out looking. So the Dogs would gladly take a single or a home run here from Frecker as well. Just looking for men on base, the Dogs at this point. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And there's a big swing and a miss by Frecker. He might have been going for the home run there. And they count 0-1. He's got Kyle Coleman at first with 2 outs. Down 5, bottom 8. 0-1 pitch now. Coming to Frecker and is in the dirt for ball 1. The count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Pretty quiet here in Little Falls as your fans just enjoying the game, kind of just watching the game and taking it all in. 1-1. Here's the pitch. And called the strike 2. And they count now 1-2 to Frecker. So Frecker's got to hang in there and keep this thing going here in the bottom of the 8th with a 1-2 count. Runner on first base is Coleman, taking a short lead, being held on by the first baseman. And Betuios is ready to go, 1-2. And he will wind and deliver to Frecker. Puts it down low for ball 2. And 2s across the board here with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. So Brody Frecker awaiting the pitch here from Betuios. Tuios looks, kicks, winds, delivers, puts it high for ball 3, and we have a full count. So Frecker making the most here of his opportunity, pushing Tuios to a 3-2 count with 2 outs. Coleman at first, taking a few steps off the bag. 3-2 pitch. Here he comes. And that is popped foul in the count 3-2 as Coleman was on the go. So basketball courts finally cleared out. A little too dark out there for the tennis courts right now. So the kids hopefully in the stands or maybe home tucked in bed. 3-2. Here's the pitch. And gets a piece of it and fouls it off. And a couple of us up here are probably thinking of home and in bed. It's going to be a while for me. I still got to drive back home, which is past Utica to Westmoreland. A little bit of a drive, but it'll be all right. Hopefully the Yankees-Dodgers game is still on when we get in the car. 3-2. Last I checked, it was 2-1 Dodgers, and there's called strike 3. That ends the inning. We head to the top of the ninth. 9-4 is the score.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
So we are back top of the ninth. Blake Fortunato is going to lead things off here for Oneonta. They have a 9-4 lead. And so for the Dogs, they're looking to shut them down here in the top of the ninth and then see what they can put together in the bottom of the ninth and scrape up 5 runs. The ball is hit to right field by Fortunato, and it is caught by the right fielder for out number 1.
Now batting for the Outlaws, extra hitter number 48 from SUNY Kogelsville, Caden Kraus.
So Caden Kraus now the batter here with 1 out as he steps into the box here to face Schneider. So with 1 out, here is Kraus at the plate facing Schneider. Here's the pitch. And that is popped up. And third baseman Venkat says, I got it for out number 2. So Dogs need 1 more to get out of this inning and head to the bottom of the ninth and see what they can pull together. So Zachary Rowe, now the batter here for Oneonta. Left-handed batter is Rowe, 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the ninth. Schneider ready to go. Here's the windup and the pitch. Inside. That ball bounced, thinking way up top here, and I just cracked my voice cracked. That was cool. 1-0 with 2 outs. I don't know, we got 3 games left. We got 3 chances to get 3 games to get a ball up here. It's getting close. Ball keeps sneaking closer and closer to us. 2 balls and no outs. I think in the 11, 12 years, 13 years we've been up here, I think we've had 1 or 2 enter the booth. Sorry. 2 balls, 1 strike, two outs. Sometimes the scoreboard does illusions. I see 2-0. I'm like, 2 balls, no outs. What's that other 2? I'm not sure. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And a ball 3 in the count, 3-1. The funny thing is, as I think I've said that before in some games, I just never caught myself. It's all right, though. 3-1. That's why I got you up here. That one's fouled off and hitting the back fence here. And the count now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Rowe. So 1 more needed by Colin Schneider to get his team to the bottom of the 9th. And maybe tonight is when we bring back the Rally Pikachu. Here's the pitch. And there is ball 4. He'll take a walk to first base with Will Rowe. And so here's Jack Lockwood with 2 outs and a runner on first. So Lockwood, the bottom of the order. Should he get on base, we go back to the top. So 2 outs. Now here is Schneider with the pitch. Called strike 1, the count 0-1. No balls and a strike here to Lockwood. 9-4 is the score. Oneonta ahead. Top of the 9th from Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls. Here's the pitch. That ball hit to the second baseman, scooped up, throws over to first, ends the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. Dogs need 5 to tie this thing up. Back after this.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
Off the 9th for your DiamondDawgs, first baseman number 9 from Fairfield University, Connor Scanlon.
And we are back, folks. The bottom of the 9th here at Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls. Time to go to your rally caps. So make sure you, if you're a Dogs fan, go out there, pull out the rally caps, and see what you guys can do here. 5 runs. Connor Scanlon at the plate for the Dogs. Let's see what we can do here with the bottom of the 9th. Dogs down 5. Here's Scanlon at the plate facing Batuios. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. So it'll be Connor Scanlon, Joe Crenshaw, and Roberto Valdez Jr. So the meat of the order here for the Dogs. 1-0 count here to Scanlon. Here's the 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, I'm sorry. And there's a strike. So even at 1-1 now is Scanlon. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dogs have 3 outs here to score 5 runs. Nothing that they haven't done before. Have you seen it before with the Dogs? Get those bats going and quickly things change. 1-1. And there's called strike 2 in the count 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Scanlon thought he didn't go. And he says, no, he went around 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Batuios looks in, grabbing his sign from his catcher. And pulls his glove in, and he's going to wind and deliver on the 1-2 now to Scanlon. There's the pitch. Down low. And the count even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dogs lost 5 straight. They don't want to make it 6 here, but they got to do some work to prevent that here. 2-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one misses for ball 3 in the count 3-2. For Oneonta, they've also lost 2 in a row, so they're looking to snap a losing streak. So both teams here looking to get back on the winning tracks. 3-2. Here comes Batuios now with the pitch. Takes his time, delivers the pitch. And there is ball 4. And Scanlon will take his base, and that's what the Dogs need. 1 runner at a time.
Number 34 from Richmond University, Joe Crenshaw.
So here's Joe Crenshaw. Crenshaw, a right-handed batter for the Dogs. And he's going to step into the batter's box with nobody out. Runner on first by way of Scanlon. Down 5. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is ball 1 to Crenshaw. 1-0. Crenshaw studs back into the box. Batuios looks over at the runner at first base. It's Scanlon taking a short lead, being held down by the first baseman. Here's the windup, the pitch. And there is a called strike to even things up at 1. So a ball and a strike. Remember, folks, Dogs are back here on Sunday as Utica comes to town tomorrow, heading over to Boonville up north. 1-1. Here's Batuios with the pitch. And that ball is hit into right field, and it gets past the right fielder as he dived, tried to make the catch, and took a chance there. And that's going to score a run for the Dogs. So just like that, the Dogs are in motion, and they get 1. They needed 5, so cutting into that lead, and now a runner on third base for the Dogs. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 9th.
For your Dogs. Second baseman number 6 from St. John's, Robert Valdez Jr.
So here's Robert Valdez Jr. So Roberto Valdez Jr. now the batter for the Dogs. They've got nobody out. Runner on third. Now down just 4. So here's Valdez Jr. to face Batuios. Batuios sets, winds, delivers. And that one missing badly for ball 1. Valdez had to get out of the way of that one. That was inside, backing him off the plate. So 1-0 with Crenshaw at third. Nobody out, bottom 9. Dogs down 4. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike. And the count now even at 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Valdez Jr. Batuios sets. He takes a long time to deliver that pitch. He's very methodical. And there's a swing and a miss. Foul tip, actually, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes with a runner on third base here for the Dogs. Dogs 5 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. 9 runs, 13 hits, no errors for Oneonta. 1-2. Here's the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss by Valdez. He strikes out for out number 1.
Starting for your Dogs, third baseman number 21 from Brown University, Harsh.
And here's Harsh. Oh, got a pinch hitter.
Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs, number 35, Jake Dolan from Seton Hall.
So Jake Dolan, now the pinch hitter, replacing Harsh Ramanyana Venkat. So Jake Dolan now batting for the Dogs. Dolan, a right-handed batter. A .359 hitter for the Dogs. No home runs on the year for Dolan, but hitting .359 coming into this ball game. So coach goes to the bench here. Brings in the top hitters for the Dogs, hitting .359. Runner on third. Here's Dolan at the plate. With the 1 out, here's the pitch. And there's a called strike outside corner, 0-1. But with the 1 out, here is a Dolan. Awaiting pitch number 2 here from Batuios. Batuios will set and kick, wind, and deliver. Broken bat. Ball's hit to a right field. Right fielder is there. Makes the grab for out number 2. Runner tags up, and he will score. So the good news is the runner scored. The bad news, the Dogs got their second out. So they're going to have to rally with 1 out. Dogs continuing to cut into this lead.
Hitting for your Dogs, number 38 from American International University, Wesley Alfonso.
So another pinch hitter here for the Dogs. Replacing Ryan Payne is Wesley Alfonso. So Alfonso now the batter. Alfonso hitting .250 with 1 home run. But none of it matters because he's got 2 outs. He's got to continue his at bat here. He's got to get on base safely somehow. And so here we go. 9-6 to score. So the Dogs have cut it down to 3. But just 1 out left. And there is a swing and a miss. So down their final 2 strikes now are the Dogs and Wesley Alfonso. Alfonso, a right-handed batter for the Dogs. Steps into the box here to face Batuios. 0-1 the count. Batuios now pulls that glove in. And kicks, winds, and delivers. And there is strike 2. So 0-2 the count. Down to their final strike here are the Dogs. No balls, 2 strikes. Oneonta 1 strike away of pulling within a half game of the Dogs in this playoff race. 0-2 pitch from Batuios. Here it is. And swing and a miss, and that'll do it. Final score 9-6. Oneonta winners. They cut into that lead half game back. We'll be back here on Sunday night with Utica coming to town. Have a great night.
Field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard. Gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go Dogs! We got a guy on third and nobody out. It's time to stand up, yes, it's time to shout. We're playing some ball and we're having some fun. Come on, boys, let's score that run. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go Dogs! Field and we're ready fast and we're gonna play hard. Gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs! 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 Don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs!